Chairman McHenry, would you like to respond to that?
No. I will, it's HCon Res 9. Say to Rules Committee members, for those of, this will be my 10th Congress I've served, and those low-numbered resolutions and bills, we know what they're about. You know, coming into the majority, you got to go figure out what your first month or two you're trying to tell the American people. And I found myself in the position that I think Ranking Member Waters did, but when this resolution referred to capitalism, it got referred to the Financial Services Committee. Well, we kind of think we're at the center of the debate on our economy and all the impacts of this, but this is the first representation in my time on financial services that we actually have both socialism and capitalism housed in our committee. So please, come aboard. We'll have Marx and Adam Smith busts in the committee room now, and we can have those fulsome debates that many of us have generally. But as for me, I'd like to stick to the banking stuff, the boring stuff of housing policy, capital formation, regulation of digital assets, and all that stuff. We've got that agenda where, you know, from time to time, Ranking Member Waters and I work on. But this is a statement that the new Republican majority wanted to make about the bigger debate about our economic system. And I'm honored to be a Republican member and doing the proper bidding of my conference and to be before you on this august Rules Committee to debate these things. And I do appreciate my friend from Massachusetts in the spirit in which he said. So.
And I appreciate your honesty.
Well, the mistake that my friend from Pennsylvania made was asking if I wanted to follow up, and instead of just saying no, you know.
I was doing you a favor.
Yeah, by not asking. So with that, I'll step back so I don't get in further trouble with myself.
Well,
Chairman,
and with that,
Mr. Chairman,
absolutely.
May I have the opportunity to?
I'll yield to the ranking member.
Oh, okay. I'd just like to take this moment to say that I have worked closely with the chairman, and he just alluded to some things that I think are very important. He talked about capital formation. We're going to work in a bipartisan way on that. He talked about data privacy. We're going to work on that. He talked about digital assets. We're going to work on that. Now, we really don't have time to be taking our time dealing with something like this resolution. What is this all about? Is it about saying you want to cut Social Security? You want to cut Medicare? You don't care about the debt ceiling? Please, give us an opportunity to work on these issues. Everybody alludes to bipartisanship, but I don't know if you're ready or not. I think we are. I yield back.
Well, Ranking Member Waters, I would think that this would be the most bipartisan bill. And the fact that this isn't passing on suspension just says everything about my friends across the aisle, that you can't condemn socialism. I mean, in your opening remarks, you were talking about Putin, Kim Jong-un, and Xi. You know what they all have in common, right?
Trump.
Trump? North Korea, China, and Russia?
He loves Kim Jong-un.
That's quite the intellectual leap. I would say communism. Would you like to denounce any communist leaders?
Well, I don't know what you're asking, but let me just. The leader of the Republican Party, Donald Trump, has made often glowing, described authoritarians like Kim Jong-un, who is condemned in the resolution. Regarding North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, Trump said, Kim wrote me beautiful letters, and they're great letters, and we fell in love. You sure you want to hear the rest of this?
Yeah, I can go through some atrocities, and you can say if you agree with them or not. You can choose to denounce them. If you'd like to go down that path, we can. What would you like to do?
Well, I would like to condemn this resolution and ask that we all give attention to the very short time that we have to do the people's work and pull it back and not even go any further with it. Why don't you just redraw it?
All right, so Mao Zedong is responsible for between 15 million and 55 million people starving to death with a great leap forward in the Cultural Revolution. Do you denounce that, yes or no?
But Trump loves him.
Yes or no?
That's
Do you-
your leader.
Do you denounce the genocide and the
That's your leader.
starvation
Trump
of
is your
communist
leader.
China?
He speaks for you. He says he loves him. You ought to
Okay,
deal
so
with that.
you're refusing to denounce the starvation of 15 to 55 million people in communist China. You're refusing to do that.
Sir, I'm a capitalist, okay? I don't support anything but serving the people of this
All right,
country.
this-
and
I know
giving
this is your
the
phrase,
people
but
of this
reclaiming my
country
time.
an
Reclaiming my
opportunity.
time.
It's your time, you got it.
Thank you. All right, would you like to, and that's a no, you refuse to denounce that. Stalin, tens of millions died in the Bolshevik Revolution. Millions died in gulags. Do you want to denounce that?
I'm sorry, I don't deal with yes or no questions.
Okay, well, why don't you explain your support
No,
of
why don't
Stalin?
you explain it?
I'm asking you the question. Do you want to denounce that or not?
I told you in the beginning of this resolution that I discussed
All right,
what
so
I
again,
think we
you're
ought to be doing.
so again,
But
you're
when you
refusing to
tell
denounce
me,
Joseph
like
Stalin.
we're in the kindergarten class, yes or no, I don't do that.
Okay. Again, for the record, you're refusing to denounce Joseph Stalin. Let's go to Pol Pot, the killing fields of Cambodia. Do you want to denounce that? I'm giving you the opportunity.
Your Republican leader, Donald Trump, is friends with, supports Putin, Kim Jong-un. He loves him, and he led this country in being basically undermined by January 6th, including not only his leadership in telling his supporters to go after our own police officers here and use the American flag, many of them, to damage and to harm. And I haven't heard one denouncement from anybody on the Republican side. Nobody has denounced that, what happened on January 6th. Are you afraid of Trump? Do you agree with Trump? Ask him the questions. Don't ask me.
Okay, so just to be clear, I asked you a question about Pol Pot, and you started talking about the former president. Again, do you denounce the killing fields of Cambodia or not? It's a simple question.
You know that you're simply playing politics. You understand what this resolution is all about. Don't ask me silly questions. I told you, I'm a capitalist. I'm not like Donald Trump. I'm not like Republicans who claim to support this democracy, but at the same time refuses to condemn those who attempted to destroy this democracy. You need to talk with your leader, Donald Trump, about what he's doing, why he loves Putin so much, why he loves Kim Jong-un so much. You ask him the questions.
So it's quite amazing. I've asked you to denounce Mao Zedong. I've asked you to denounce Joseph Stalin.
I asked you
and
to
Pol
denounce.
Pot, and you wouldn't denounce
I
any
asked
of
you
them.
to denounce Donald Trump.
Okay. You're
I
making
asked
quite,
you to
you're,
denounce
you're
Donald
making
Trump.
quite the intellectual leap. I'm talking
I
about
asked
genocide
you
and
to
mass
denounce
starvation.
Donald Trump.
Okay, he's not
I
a communist.
asked you
We're here.
I asked you to denounce Donald Trump.
This is quite the intellectual leap, ranking member. Let's talk about Venezuela.
Let's talk about Donald Trump.
Okay, let's talk about
You
Venezuela.
answer my question.
We are here talking
Yes
about a
or no?
resolution to condemn communism and socialism. Let's talk about Venezuela. Venezuela had the largest GDP before Chavez took over.
I want
now
you
they're literally eating their dogs because they cannot feed
denounce
themselves. You want to denounce
Donald Trump. I want you to denounce the Proud Boys. I want you to denounce QAnon. I want you to denounce the KKK. When you do all of that, then we can talk.
that? Okay, so again, for the record, you've refused to denounce Mao Zedong, Joseph Stalin, Pol Pot, and Hugo Chavez. That's amazing.
For the record,
Ranking
you
member-
refuse to denounce Donald Trump. You refuse to denounce the insurrection that tried to destroy our democracy. You refuse to denounce the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, QAnon, the KKK. You refuse all of that.
So I think we've answered the question of why this can't just pass on suspension.
Will you answer the questions I ask you?
Ranking
I know
member,
this is an unusual meeting of the Rules Committee, but you come in here with a political attempt to deal with why you don't like and why you don't support Medicare and Social Security. We stand very strongly in support of Social Security and Medicare and our veterans and our seniors. If you want to talk about why you don't support them, then you should go ahead and do that.
You're doing a lot of deflecting. I mean, I ask you very simple questions, and you've just done nothing but deflect. So
I'm
again,
asking you a simpler question about
Yeah.
protection for our democracy.
All right, well, one thing that I can affirmatively say is that I would denounce Pol Pot, Mao Zedong, Stalin, Lenin, Xi, Mao Zedong. I've got no problems
you
denouncing
denounce
them.
Trump?
But Chairman McHenry, would you like to explain how free market capitalism has done more to raise people out of poverty than any other form?
Look, what I would say is the resolve piece of this, that Congress denounces socialism in all of its forms and opposes the implementation of socialist policies here in the United States. I support the objective of the resolution. I support the resolution. There's the contents of this I don't find objectionable in any way. We obviously have a larger political debate. And from time to time in our committee, we have those bigger debates. And I think I'm comfortable with the terms of our debate, and I think my ranking member is as well. And I think we all get a little bit of joy about these fundamental debates about the state of our society. But we didn't get into the piece of this resolution that I would have written in, which is, as a system, the capitalist system has lifted more people out of poverty globally than any other system in human history. Now, that's not me. I'm paraphrasing Bono. That economic opportunity for people to lift themselves up through their economic creativity, we should focus on. We should remove those barriers. We should give them greater opportunities. In Canada, if you're born in Canada, they have a system to find the best hockey players, right? And in the United States, we should have that same mentality for economic prosperity, for free markets, for entrepreneurship. If you're born on the right side of the tracks or wrong side of the tracks, if you're born in urban America or rural America, we should find ways that we can cultivate and link those people that have great ideas up with a little bit of investment capital, a little bit of lending, so that they can have their American dream as they see fit. That's what my father did, and he did it mowing other people's grass. And the people that I go meet and visit at businesses, I've been there because I've mowed their grass, right? Many of them in my community. It's not the American dream for everyone, didn't cure cancer, but it put kids through college and changed our lives. And it was that little bit of risk that my father took and that entrepreneurial spirit that created a small business. That's the type of thing that we've got to cultivate for every American, regardless of where you're born or what your current economic conditions are. And it's that system of capitalism and the free allocation of money connected with good ideas has changed us and let us outperform the rest of the world economically and in every facet of human life. And we've got to make that better in the United States. We've got to be able to outcompete our competition, especially when it comes to the Communist Chinese Party and what they're trying to implement and the economic competition we have there. I think that's a bipartisan conversation we can have on how we outcompete them. But the mentality this Congress needs to have is us being able to embrace our economic system and make it better. That's the hope, at least.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.